Welcome to Healing in the City, an introduction. My name is Princess, and who are you, lovely lady?
Hi, my name's Ama, also known as Sis Ama.
And my name's Peaches, also known as Auntie P.
And between us, we're bringing to you Healing in the City. I guess this is an introduction, so we're going to introduce why we've chosen Healing in the City. What's so important about healing? What is healing? Are we healing?
Are we healing?
Yeah, where are we at on our healing journey if we've begun?
I think, you know what, as you ask those questions, P, one of the things I've heard a lot throughout 2020, even 2019, lots of people using the words healing, healing, healing. You need healing. They need healing.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, it's a bit like when people point fingers at people. It's always four fingers or however many fingers pointing back at a person.
And one point, yeah. Oh, yeah, one pointing at the person, four pointing back at you.
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So I kind of have that concept because it's been overused, I think, in when people want to throw it. I think when I hear people talking about healing, it's 9 times out of 10 to bring people down.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
uh-huh.
If you know what if you get where I'm coming from.
Do you agree with that, Sister Ama?
I do. I mean, healing, I suppose, means many things to many people, really. When I speak of healing, I'm talking about understanding yourself, understanding your journey and how it's affected you, how it's affected how you think, how you feel, and your triggers.
Yeah,
you know?
triggers.
And so once you've had healing, well, healing is a process. So, once you have started that journey, you begin to understand yourself more. You begin to look after yourself more, your mental well-being, emotional well-being. You don't put yourself in situations that are going to cause you harm, Once you've, gone on that journey, I can see you busting. Go on.
Do you know what? 'Cause I need to be able to say this really unfiltered, and I know I'm with you guys, so I'm just gonna speak.
Say it out, girl.
I'm just gonna say it. So I'm in agreement in regards of it's about focusing on self-care and doing the relevant work, whatever that looks like. So I'm gonna speak from my eye perspective.
Yeah.
Healing is, oh my gosh, the journey is hard graft. It is a journey of ups and downs. Times for me anyway, when I was going through it, was a lot of conflict with my ego and self, and I was just like, I remember phoning up Pryncess one day and going, I feel like a big stop.
Oh, yeah,
Because-
I remember that.
And that was because I was, there's a lot of people that are quite trigger happy.
Okay.
Like, at the same time, I was a bit more mindful of myself, that I was triggered. So I would, phone my sister and have a conversation. And to be honest, this is where Princess showed me the support of what a sister can do and was doing for me. So she kept me balanced, as in she gave me a different perspective. She gave me allowed me to explore different ways of how I can once I receive it, how I can challenge it, if you like. And I was just saying, like when somebody's talking to you, like just like excrement, really. How once upon a time I would have been attack.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, yo, I'm gonna honor my higher self. And I'm aware I don't like to be triggered, and I don't like dwelling in that negative state of I'm angry or frustrated to the point of where it's rolling out into other relationships.
Yeah.
So in talking, I was like, oh, this is how I feel. I feel like, whereas before I was ready to go to war, it's like, rah, I don't, You don't have to fight all the battles, and there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat if you wanted to do that.
So as you're talking, I'm just thinking.
Where you going?
It just came to me. So is it about being vulnerable? Was that you allowing
Vulnerable.
yourself to be vulnerable because you were on a defensive, protecting yourself? So you were using your ego to protect yourself.
I was also, for me, was, I wasn't operating on. I understood what I understood, and knew I was operating on survival mode for a long time, and now I want to live.
Okay. So when did that realization come in, and how brave do you have to be to allow yourself to be vulnerable and open up yourself to what you fear ultimately, which is the disrespect, people taking the pee out of you, and that type of thing. How do you get there? How did you get there?
For me, I mean, number one, I'm fully aware of what my purpose is and my values. And that's after doing some serious work of exploring what values were, and also my boundaries, I recognise from a long time of toxic traits, behaviours, languages, doing the work, because I work with young people. I was having conversations with young people, listening to young people, and hearing some of the challenges or relationships they were having. And there was times when you're listening, and I'm like, I can't back. Like when I was younger, I'd probably go, go on, defend it. My gal can't talk to you like that. But it's different when you're older, when you're getting older, and when you're on this journey. And I thought the more I was listening to those kind of conversations, what I fed to them was really important.
Right.
And that meant that I can't just be telling or speaking to them, this is take the higher ground. Yeah. And it can look like this. And I wasn't practicing that.
Yeah.
So I was also holding myself accountable, taking responsibility of regards of what doing better looks like for me. Yeah. And that meant I had work to do. I've practiced. I'm just, I've tapped in. I've read books. I've gone to workshops. Like Sister Ama's done some brilliant SYI. SYI. Come again, SYI.
It's not SYI, is it? Is it SIY?
SIY.
Oh,
But that sounds
The
good.
jingle.
Roll
The
with that,
jingle.
sister, because that's...
oh gosh.
Don't, you don't crack me up.
SIY.
definitely.
Let me say that again.
Do it in the same voice.
Oh, yeah.
Right. SIY. SIY workshops. Yeah. No, where and I think that the more that I was engaging in certain other people's practices, not just my own, becoming open in regards to certain conversations, networking with various other people from all different races. And when I say all different races, I mean all different practices.
Yeah.
I started to just do my own research and pitch and do work. Meditation, I still ain't mastered it, but I tap into it. I've done from peace circles, talking therapy, doing exercises.
So you're just invested in your healing. It's investing in yourself. It's an investment. And for me,
that's what I want to hear. What about you?
For me, healing is forgiving yourself, being easy on yourself, just talking kindly to yourself. I started speaking to myself like I'm somebody that I really love, like one of my loved ones, my friends. When I start putting pressure on myself, I'm like, or something doesn't go the way I expected, or I didn't do as well in something as I think I should have done, I'm like, I literally say to myself, it's okay, it's all right, you will do better next time, and what you did was what you could do at that time. It's cool, you're fine. I do positive affirmations to myself as though I am not myself, if you know what I mean. I'm just talking kindly to myself, because a lot of the time we always say, I wish someone would talk to me like this, or do something for me like that, or and I've just found the expectation, and I've just found so much peace in doing things for myself, giving myself what I like, honoring, like if I'm upset, I'll sort it out. I will make sure I'm okay. I will take a break or take some time out and sort myself out, because half of my problem was people weren't treating me the way I was treating them. And then it was like, but I can treat me how I treat other people. Do you know what I mean? Because that's why I was a bit unbalanced at times, because I was just like, I give so much, I give, and then for myself, I wasn't getting back. But I'm also responsible for that. So for me, it was taking responsibility, forgiving myself, becoming my own best friend, and recognizing what it feels like, what my love feels like. So pouring back into myself and being really honest with myself, being really honest, like about how I feel, how I respond to things, why. And then that brings you to the why. When you start recognizing your behaviors and your responses and your reactions, then you get to, but why did I act like this? And kind of holding myself responsible for everything. It sounds extreme, but when you do that, you bring yourself, you're centered, and you the responsibility and your reactions, the power is with you. When you say, oh, so and so made me, no, I just flipped out because they made me so angry. But who are they to have that type of power
Can I ask you a
to
question?
unravel you? Yeah.
So one of the things I heard you saying is about what the giving.
Sure.
Because you are giving.
Sure.
Yeah. And my thing, and realizing that other people weren't giving you the same in return. You're giving out all this love and it wasn't coming back.
Right.
Did you have an expectation of people? You know, like...
Right, okay, so I immediately want to say no, but realistically I did, because otherwise I wouldn't be disappointed.
Yeah.
And that's
Love
half
your
of my
honesty.
problem. Yeah.
Our honesty.
Yeah, honestly, I have to, well, this is what it's about, isn't
Yeah.
it? Just being really honest. And that is also a problem I have with my eldest daughter, because the expectation I have of her to be as empathetic and understanding and considerate as I am. But we're all different. And it is just that accepting. I now just accept everybody for who they are, how they are, come as you are. But then it's about me asserting my boundary and tapping in and being in tune with myself and saying, can I really afford to give right now? Can I really afford to give right now? Can I pick up my phone and deal with this right now? Or do I need to deal with me right now? And it's prioritizing myself and not feeling bad, because I used to feel guilty. Like just last night, this morning, about 2 a.m, a dear friend of mine was calling me and he wanted to talk. And I knew why he wanted to talk. And I knew that I could placate him and speak to him and make him feel better and rest with an easy head. And to me, that's my life calling, because I can do it so easily and it comes naturally to me. However, I wasn't in a good space myself. I was only going to get a couple of hours sleep. I was actually tired for once. And I just said, do you know what? All will be well, and I will call you in the morning when I get up. And I had to make my peace with that, because usually I wouldn't be able to sleep. I'll just call him, just because, like, I know how it feels to be upset. I know how it feels. Do you know what I mean? To have to need someone to talk to, and I and if I can do it, I will. But I needed myself last night. Like, I needed myself. So I just honoured that, and I went with that. And lo and behold, today I spoke to him. He's fine. I'm fine. I'm rested. You know what I mean? So it was the own pressure I was putting on myself. So it's knowing your boundaries, knowing yourself, honouring your own needs. For me, was healing. For me,
I love that. Sister Ama, what about you? Because you're the, like, out of me and Sister Princess right now, like, because we spoke about this the other day. Princess is in her 30s, I'm in my 40s, and you're in your 50s.
Yeah.
And I know that for me anyway, you've been practicing in regards of spirituality, healing, just everything for a long time.
yeah.
Come on, let me hear about your journey with healing.
Wow, my journey with healing. I mean, it's so interesting. You just live life and you don't realise that you've got a need for healing. You know, you just live it and you defend your corner. And yeah, I mean, this journey, wow. Do you know what? I love reading. And I was always drawn to literature that made me think, you know, outside of the box, different perspectives. And I think that's one or a major thing about healing, that I meet people in life who don't read much. They don't take time to invest in, different perspectives coming in, whether it's reading, whether it's watching, whether it's listening to something, and so they believe that their way is the only way because that's all they know, and things like reading or just exposing yourself to someone talking I call it the village circle, and that's what the village circle was always about. It was about listening to others and it triggering your inner knowing. Because I'm listening to you speaking and it's like, triggering within me. And I'm sure those who are listening, they'll be thinking, I get that thought, she's right, and
True.
they'll go away with these thoughts, which will then add to other thoughts, which will then trigger, maybe a releasing of something that they've held on to for ages, and that's healing.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
And people don't really know that as healing. So me reading all this literature and exposing myself, listening to inspirational speakers, talking to people, that's been, the start of my healing. I mean, I grew up with my mum saying, you don't, what is it, the laundry in public?
I don't want your dirty laundry in public.
Yeah.
I think we all can relate to that.
Yeah, she used to speak on that a lot. And she was always very private, and I became very private. But then what that meant was that I'd be thinking things in my head, whereas if I'd spoken to someone, got a different perspective, maybe I wouldn't hold on to so much, feelings of resentment about something that somebody did, So, so the healing journey definitely for me was, the literature that I'd exposed myself to, but what in terms of spirituality, definitely.
Everything.
Oh wow. I mean that for me marks where things really started really growing for me and me recognizing who I was. I'd met a spiritual healer on the radio station that I used to be on. I used to present on Amiga Radio, and I met this lady, and she was very spiritual, very outward with her spirituality, very extrovert, all of that, and I was very introvert, and I was very much like I look at people like her and think, I haven't come here to make friends. Seriously,
Is that what in your head?
in my head, all sorts of going on in my head.
You see how you just make the man come out and start talk? The man come out and start talk.
That is
You see the
funny,
power
dog.
when you just...
Yeah.
Sorry, can I just so we people, because I know we heard it. I know the mic heard it.
Hilarious.
What did you just say? What did you just say? Did you say even you used to make up stories in your head?
I used to like when I used to start school. I used to go into it with the mindset of like, I'm not coming to make friends.
Yeah.
My dad always used to say that to me.
Yeah, the same. That was a big thing. Like, it's really funny because as you said that, I'm like, I used to hear that all the time. And it's funny how big I am about people in being empowered in sharing and holding their voice.
Yeah.
As I'm talking to you right now, I'm like, yo, imagine we used to do the truth chair, a real big exercise, big on opening for people to open up. But it was the most important thing, as much as the talking is some form of therapy and the sharing and makes other people realise that I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, they still need to do the work.
The work, yeah.
The personal development work, the spiritual work, the work of, and with the young people, we did do that work of, mentoring and all of that. And, Some of us did. But in regards of, because I don't know how everybody practices, but I know in the work that any work I was associated with, and I'm sure yourself, we make sure that individuals are getting the necessary support to help them, enable them on their journey, because I think that's key. When you think about how many people throughout the week, between us three, how many people send out an SOS
Yeah.
to say help. And I've had to learn. I can't help everyone.
Yeah.
You have to help self first and practice.
I mean, just you saying that reminds me of the cup, isn't it?
Yes. Hey,
cup.
tell them about the cup. Are you going to let them see the cup?
That was an
Or are you going to
awesome-
be
that-
selfish?
That was an awesome exercise.
Yeah, the cup. What are you doing with your cup? Do you make sure that your needs or your cup are fully seen to before you deal with anybody else's?
And I'm going to say then the jug then, because we had the one when we had what percentage in regards of spiritually, psychologically, emotionally.
Yeah.
I said spiritual, because there's about
Physical, maybe.
physical, and it was like Sister Ama's worksheet. You don't know about
Was
it.
I there? Did
you
I
don't
do
know about
it?
the worksheet.
Did I do it?
She
sis?
wasn't there for it.
No,
I don't think I
so.
did. Yeah, it sounds like something I
you
would
weren't
remember.
there, you weren't there for that. But she's got a worksheet in it, which is like, let's like look at yourself. This is about you.
Right.
Being honest about what are you running on?
Yes.
What don't you have? Yeah. And when you're able to look at spiritually, physically, emotionally, psychologically, even financial. Yeah. When you look at all of those levels and you put it, just say out of 10, and you really look at it, is there a balance? Or is there, what's disproportionate? Like, where is most of the percentage of your time being focused on? And I tell you, when you do that, because when I done that exercise, I was like, one of them, I was just like, damn, I actually really don't spend much time there. I'm not sharing that with you lot right now because, I don't want to.
You have to share it. You have to share it.
No, you know what? More finance is the one that I overlook because love is my currency.
Right.
I feel like when we're doing this work, it's with people. When somebody says help, I'm not thinking, how much you got the money to pay me.
True.
I'm like, that person needs help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not thinking about, can they afford me?
I'm the same.
Yeah, and cool. I can imagine how there's certain professionals listening to this going, damn, you will be broke all your life.
Yeah.
You know what? I've got to say, I haven't been made homeless yet.
Right.
From working the way that I do, I might not live in a big mansion. Like, I might get slower to get to my goals. Because you need finance to get to for a certain point. But you know what? I'm breathing, I'm living as long as I'm able to help, And I think, there's plenty people that I just think who are in need. And I just believe that when someone comes my way, if I can, that's important.
Yeah.
It's not, I'm running on zero. And like, like I'm gonna carry I had to learn the hard way though. It's not like I just said, I know my balance and I've crashed. I had to learn real quick because I had ill health, definitely ill health physically, and in turn I had to go back, home in on self, and recognise that I am the repair. I needed to speak to my organs. I needed to review what I was putting into my body, and what was coming in my ears, what I was watching, seeing, all of that. Pete, where's your mind? Because I can see you in a trance, boy.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking about all of these things, and just because Sister Ama was talking about the spiritual, and then you kind of just came in with the physical, and often we do not interlink the two, and we're just like, oh, I'm feeling so down, and then you get ill. Oh, I've got a little cold,
You shared something
whatever.
the other day on your Facebook. You shared something on your Facebook
What
the other day.
What was it regarding?
It was exactly what you're saying right now,
okay.
talking about not making the balance, and if you don't have this, then you put
Yeah,
something up.
yeah, because it happens to me. It happens to me, and it never used to happen to me. As I've gotten older, the more I go through, and especially if I don't express it in adequately, so it's all off my chest, or I make that time for me to be by myself, it will manifest. Literally, I will get rashes. My body will crash. I will just stop. Do you know what I mean? I cannot lift myself out of bed, and I'm almost hyperactive. I'm always doing something.
She
all
got
over the place.
ADHD, but without no
100%.
ADHD.
I own it. Like, I'm always all over the place. So for me to be like, oh, I can't move and stop, it makes me pay attention. But when I trace back my steps and I'm like, how did I get here? Because I know that my portion is not ill health. I know that. So I know that it is something that I have done or something that has triggered this. So when I trace back my steps, it almost always comes down to some type of emotional strain. And managing your emotional input output is so important. To me, it's the most important thing you can do, because it really does affect your body 1,000%. When I look at which organs, you know, when you can see which organs are interlinked with what emotion, and I look at that and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what that pain was. So I think healing has got so many layers. It's so deep.
It's the whole 360.
It's a holistic approach to healing. Like, you can't just focus on one part.
Listen, my
Can't just be
daughter looks
physical.
at me and says, "Mummy, what, you into juju?" Yeah,
What?
and the reason why she says it is because I'm there burning sage, I'm burning Santo Palos or whatever it's called.
Palo Santo.
Yes, back to front. That's my dyslexia, selective. You know,
Love
but
it.
it's like my daughter just literally goes, "Mum, what is all this stuff?" Yeah, and I'm like, "Baby girl, you need to get in touch."
Yeah.
Let me try. My daughter shuts down because she's like, "Mummy, I never saw this before, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is new. This is alien." She started to open up, but it's so. What I'm saying is really key, because my family didn't show me this. What we're talking about. Yeah. This has come on my journey.
Right.
So my daughter, it's like, I might as well say in my late 20s, I say early 30s, I'd go on to say, really. And my daughter's 16 years younger than me. So my daughter's seeing mummy like from one way to then evolving. Yeah. And my daughter's looking at me like, what you deal with, mum? You know, mum, you've gone from, and I'll just keep it real, I've gone from ganja, to sage.
That's funny.
But it's just the truth. So
But
know,
it's good to let them
it's
see
good,
you evolve.
and
Like,
I
you don't have
wish-
to just stay somewhere. You can move.
and it's beautiful for her to be able to see. You know, at first I was a bit defensive of it. I was a bit like, what do you mean I'm into juju? I'm not into juju. Like, because of all the connotations as well, all of that, just, you know. But to be honest, now it's a done thing, you know. And it's really funny because when my daughter, her I'm going to say her allergic reaction to me burning sage, I was like, child, there's some...
My mum was like that. I was like, more.
Shut up.
Literally.
And look at the beauty. I just think that, that our children, I think it's so important, like the self-investment that we have made and are making, and then sharing it, how we're communicating it to our loved ones, or introducing them to it.
Yeah.
You know, my mum, like, my mum comes to me and she's now seeing all of this stuff. Like, and suddenly she goes, "What are you burning, Shez?" Yeah, "What are you burning?" Sorry, that's my pet name. I've got lots of aliases. Yeah, but and it's now she's like, "Oh, Shez, go and get me some of that when you know what I mean?"
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm aware how on my journey of evolving, I've become a lot clearer in regards of the relationships of how I have with my mum. You know, I'm not there trying to trigger my mum. I want to rise with my mum. You know what I mean? I want my mum to be at peace. You know, I want my mum to be able to enjoy the things that I've been learning and stuff, you know, like, "Mum, check this out," you know, and she has been,
It's amazing.
you know, my sister, you know, so you know how when we're doing stuff, because we believe, I know this, lead by example.
1,000%.
So in my healing, my family are seeing me evolve, and my family. Not everybody's at the same stage, but there are influence. I can see it in how they move, in the conversations that we're having. That they're taking something away.
Yeah. I mean, what you're talking about here, science is on this. Epigenetics.
Yeah.
So what you're doing, you are affecting all those around you, like as though you sent a ripple in the water, and it's going to go down or up in the generations, to come. So it's just amazing.
That's beautiful.
This journey.
We leave living legacies. We are, and we're just doing it.
Just like how trauma is passed down. Healing is passed down as well.
Yep.
So we're
it's important to say that. Can we rewind and come again with that? Let them know that again.
Just like trauma is passed down, healing is also passed down. Rest assured.
And on that note, it's so important for us to just remind you, if you want to follow us on our Instagram page, our Instagram is at Healing in the City UK. We go check.
I don't
we go
think
check.
it is.
Let's check. Let's just check. I'm all picking up Princess's phone. No, you can check.
Oh, it is. It's Healing in the City UK. It is.
Listen, I knew that. The silence got me a little bit unsure, but we knew that.
We didn't want no parts. We didn't know what we was just like.
They left me, guys. They left me.
You were right, girl. So rewind and come again.
So it's at Healing in the City UK. You know what? I think it's important that we explain to them how we. Anybody want to start the story of how we got the title Healing in the City?
How did we get the title? I don't remember. Do you remember?
I remember. Do you remember?
No.
All right, go for it.
Oh my gosh! So we just done a session with the one Simone. Simmer Love.
Support is love.
Hashtag support is love, definitely. And we all went out. We finished our workshop, in fact, to graduation, and then we were in Dalston, and we were eating in the vegan place.
Yes.
And we were talking around the table, and it was like just bouncing and talking about. It was like healing in the city, and I was like the flip of Sex in the City. Yeah. So I was like, we're not Sex in the City. Like, why would they put that out there, Sex in the City? And we started talking about it, and it was like, healing in the city. Because we understood, even just like, I think it was for us, like coming together as a collective, and how just having that meal and talking.
Yeah, that was healing in itself.
It was healing.
That whole evening was, the afternoon going into the evening was so healing being around you. My energy was a little bit off. It was a little bit imbalanced. And just by the time I had finished with you beautiful sisters, I was so grounded. I was feeling so light. It was needed. And it wasn't planned. We hadn't planned it. We didn't know we needed it until we had
organic.
it. It's very organic, and that was beautiful.
And I think that it's more of a thing of like, I think just coming together and talking, living in this concrete jungle, and then just being able to just talk feelings and whatever else was going on, and have a giggle, of the importance of what it is to have well, for us it was sisterhood was our thing. Sisterhood and good food and just talk free. We said people need it.
Seriously.
Definitely.
Quality controlled, though, because I know, because Princess, darlings, we went to one bar first.
Oh, don't. I knew she was going to bring this up. I was just thinking.
I won't say a thing. Sorry, some things don't need to be said. I'll just let her laugh.
You're something else. But quality control is important. You need to be in comfortable surroundings. But that was beautiful, and it's organic, and it's allowing yourself to resonate with who you resonate with. There was no preconceptions of what we needed to be doing or who we needed to be around. It just happened. And Sims didn't even come to all of our sessions like that, but she was just tribe.
She was in it.
And we just embraced her. And from that, nothing but beautiful things have come from that. So it's allowing who you relate to, who you're organically drawn to be around you. These are things that I tell my young people as well, because they're like, oh yeah, that person's cool. Because when they say, I haven't got any friends at school, no one understands me or whatever. And I'm like, are you sure? There's no one, even those people that you don't think are that cool. What about them that say hello to you every day and always check, that you can always borrow a pencil from or talk about the homework or whatever? They're like, yeah, they are them, but I don't really know. We don't really have too much in common. I was like, just see, check it out. Do you know what I mean? And explore that connection. And 9 times out of 10, they're like, yeah, I don't really chill with them in school, but we still talk outside of school and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's the same for us adults as well, because we get to a point where we're like, we know who we resonate with and we know who's our tribe and stuff like that. But sometimes we don't. Sometimes we don't. And sometimes it's refreshing to have a new perspective, to have a new tribe member who isn't what you know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So to be open to that is also really, really important.
100%.
I think those people, and just as we are talking, you know, those who are listening, could be a different perspective that they're hearing.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
Yeah, sure.
Because we tend to stay around our own and say the same things,
True.
and we don't grow.
That's
that
so
way.
true.
Sometimes we need to move out
Yes.
of our
That's
comfort
so true.
zone, don't we?
100%.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Yeah. Because extending that comfort zone.
It's important.
It's important.
That's an important one.
I mean, I stopped like, I've got my people, you know, like P said, in regards of your tribe, but all my people hold me accountable.
Right.
They're not biased.
Yeah.
Like, you know, in public we stand firm.
Yeah.
When we're together, we have our little conversation.
Yeah.
But they're not afraid to check
That's
me.
good.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I think that I let go. Like when I see genuine love, you know, my people allow, like, they can check me, I can check them, and we're not offended.
Yeah.
We're not.
Because it's coming from a place of love.
Even in the workplace, yeah. And let me tell you, and the workplace is trying, yeah. But at the same time, sometimes it's not the most immediate thing. You know, like, they're out to get me. You know, sometimes when people give you feedback or constructive criticism, if you just listen, pick sense out of nonsense. You know what I mean? Easier said than done sometimes, depending on the surroundings and the environment, because work is a whole new ball game. But at the same time, I'm just saying, I start to breathe a little bit more in regards of when I'm not familiar in certain surroundings, but I'm also not walking around defensive. I'm secure within self.
And the reason being, because you're doing the work within.
Right, doing the
So
work.
your triggers are less. And you're aware when
Yeah.
you're being triggered.
Yeah.
So you can be in
Agreed.
any, you know, environment and you can be all right.
And when I'm not feeling all right, because, you know, it's up and down days as well, I am not afraid to tap in and say, you know what, I need to go and speak to my therapist, or I need to pick up the phone, because I've also got to be mindful, like, sometimes we go and talk to people we're familiar with,
Yeah.
and they can be biased, and we can offload, we can dump. So I'm so, before I would do a lot of dumping. I think I was a dumper. Yeah. I think I was somebody who, you know, I'd just think to myself, if I phone that person, they answer the phone, they're ready to receive whatever it is I'm going to say. And it's not always the way. Because sometimes, you know, some people can phone you and they just start blurting out their stuff. And they haven't said, hi, you all right? Is it convenient to have a little conversation? Or, you know, and what's your headspace like? You know?
That's an important question.
It's an important one.
Understanding if you're a dumper.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
I ain't a dumper no more.
Because, you know, people do feel like they need to offload. They don't actually want to hear any solution.
Right.
But they don't
Just a rant.
understand. This is where spirituality comes in. They're lowering your vibration. They don't even know what you've been dealing with before you pick that phone up. And they don't care.
I should say,
sometimes.
yeah, they really
You know,
don't.
it's their needs they want to satisfy.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think for me, I think mostly when I was younger, I was more of a dumper. Then I received a lot of dumping, and I think that comes along with the work as well. But I think as you get on doing this work and you doing the work, you also, as I said, your boundaries and stuff are in place. So I mean, I'm really. I think for me, healing is also about owning your owning your behavior. You know, I think it's
And energy, you
and
were gonna
energy.
say it,
I was
yeah.
going to say that energy
Owning
and
your energy,
behavior,
right.
and it's like I refuse to be around certain people. When I get to that point, you know, if I can see certain things, I won't be around you. It took me a long while, because before I was keeping on, you know, hold on to that love. You got to hold. Oh, you know what? As we're talking about this, yeah, you see certain music I grew up on, like On Vogue, Hold On.
Yeah.
Listen to those words.
I know,
Do you
seriously.
know,
when
like,
listen to the
my
song
eldest said
lyrics,
to me,
boy.
I was listening, because I put on some tunes for my mum, and she said, Mum, why is the woman begging the man to stay like that? He doesn't want her. She goes, this is the
lovely.
saddest
Good.
song I've ever heard.
Well
And my
done.
mum's
Yeah.
like, clicking
I'm
away.
telling you, the
It's
songs
just-
we used to
honestly.
Hey.
sing and
And I had
dance
never
and
seen
whatever.
it in that light until she said it. But you're spot on with that.
Listen, Monica
Yeah.
and Brandy, that boy is mine.
so
Like, come
Let him
on.
go,
It's
for goodness
cringe.
sake.
It's cringe to think
I'm
about.
just
yeah.
like, yo. And these are the things that we have been programmed into
right.
us. These are the things, and I say programmed into us because when they're coming through the airwaves, then we let the music in our house. I'm not saying, because I'm not gonna lie. There's some tunes that all those songs they sweeted me. Who said sin's not sweet? Yeah, like they sweeted me. But the truth of the matter, even down to when I started the change and became more heavily involved with the youth work, I was on pirate radio station, yeah, and it was you know, it was a big decipher about hip hop and grime, and I was like anti-grime, like really anti-grime. I was like, look what they're putting out there, you know, like they're going on about drill now. Do you know what I mean? I was like, look what they're putting out there, not even making no sense, and it's like shoot 'em up, bang, 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 you know, like that. I was like that, and then I was like, I was not listening to that in my house. But when I was creating a playlist of all the tunes that I grew up on and really listened to them, I was like, no wonder this is my programming. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's some things and I say it's important. If you're truly, this is to anybody listening, if you are truly about healing, there is so much unlearning, but it's about what you are going to replace
It will. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
That's really,
And there's a lot out there. There's a lot to replace it with. So, ladies,
yeah, girl.
Yeah.
are we wrapping up our introduction to healing in the city?
Hey, well, you know, we can talk.
You know, I think we have done a lot of talking. Has it been an hour? It's an hour now, isn't it?
I've enjoyed myself.
Same.
I
same.
really, I you know, just laughing with us as well. It's just been, I just enjoyed this.
Yeah. It's healing in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's healing in itself, and that's what it is. That's what it's all about.
And I hope that people who are listening pick sense out of nonsense, whatever resonates with you. Do you know what I mean? Because I think there's something there for everyone, you know. But one thing for me, my last words are: healing is necessary in the city, in the countryside, across the globe. But heal, yeah. And my name's Peaches. You can follow me at Peaches Presents.
My name's Princess. You can follow me at Eve's Envy.
And my name's Ama. You can follow me at Ama_ADU_D.
And don't forget, at Healing in the City.
UK.